she's like, you're a vampire, and Edward's like, you're fucking stupid. Yeah. I'm gonna gaslight the shit out of you.
Yes. Hey everybody, welcome to BYOB, the Bring Your Own Book podcast. I'm Kelly.
And I'm Nikki.
And today we are going to be continuing on in our Twilight series reread by talking about the second book in the series, New Moon. So before we get started in on our feelings, our thoughts, our questions, our dilemmas, we are going to tell you a little bit about this book. So, Nikki, why don't you read the synopsis for us?
I knew we were both in mortal danger. Still, in that instant, I felt well, whole. I could feel my heart racing in my chest, the blood pulsing hot and fast through my veins again. My lungs filled deep with the sweet scent that came off his skin. It was like there had never been any hole in my chest. I was perfect, not healed, but as if there had never been a wound in the first place. These synopses for these books are too good.
Right?
Of course people love them.
Stephenie, well, let's be fair. I don't know if Stephenie Meyer wrote the synopsis, but whoever did, props.
I kind of think that's also a part of the book. Like the first one.
Yeah.
So I like that they do that. I like that it's not like a Bella Swan was a teenage girl from, I was going to say Pennsylvania. She's not from Pennsylvania. She's from Phoenix. Coming to this brave new world of forks, gray and rainy. And I'm like, who cares?
Yeah.
I want to know about the love.
Snaps for Stephenie. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to talk about this. Like, more excited than I thought I would be, because as I said last time, I was really, really almost dreading reading this one because I knew the beginning was going to be so upsetting and kind of slow.
Yeah.
And I had a great time. Do you want to tell me your thoughts and your rating before I go into mine?
So I think I would give this book a 4 now. I think I did give it a 5. Maybe I actually did give this book a 4 because this time it didn't bother me as much because I knew what to expect. But when I read the book last year, the first part of this book destroyed me.
Yeah.
I was so anxious the whole time waiting for Edward to leave.
Ugh.
So I think it's a 4 just because it did give me feelings of anxiety that were a little too real for a fictional book. Mm-hmm. But I really liked this. I thought it was fun. I'm really excited to hear what you think about all of the Jacob Black content because I know you don't like Jacob, or maybe you've changed your opinion a little bit now, like being an adult. Yeah, I think obviously we'll get a little bit more into it, but I really liked the Jacob content this time around. Mm-hmm. I have a lot of feelings about the way that like men think they have some kind of claim over women.
Oh my God.
And I think that it is pretty realistic to real life, especially with younger men. But this whole attitude that Jacob and Mike more than Jacob
oh my
have
God. Fuck
in this
Mike.
book of this kind of, you owe it to me to date me. Ugh.
Yeah.
That bothers me. I know we'll talk about that because wow. What did you think, Kelly? What's your rating?
So I also gave it a 4. However, I was kind of like, I was in between 3.5 and a 4, but I couldn't give it a 3.5. I was just like, that's not right. It's not right in my soul. But right. I do think I liked the first book more than this one because of the first chunk of this book. Like, so upsetting, so depressing. I kept forgetting that Bella was going to be like super depressed throughout the whole book and like suicidal almost. You know what I mean? Like, I totally forgot about that. And while I've already read this, so I know that she, you know, spoiler alert, she survives. She does not die in this book. Like, I knew that she would be okay, but I was like, oh my God, this is really heavy for teens. And I was like 12 or 13 maybe.
Yeah.
And like I had never had a relationship at that point. So I was like, oh my God, this is a lot of like heavy, intense feelings for a young person to have and to navigate. I have a lot of thoughts about Jacob. I cannot wait to get into it, but I'm not going to go into that in my review. But yeah, I agree with everything you're saying about these freaking stupid men being like, well, you're here and I smiled at you, so like, why don't you want to date me? Like, bitch, I don't want to date you. Get the hint. My God. But 4 to 5. I thought the ending, the like thrilling kind of, you know, we joked it was like John Grisham-esque, like running through the streets, whatever. Like this one felt more earned in a sense, but I still had some problems because I was like, why, you know? But it did feel more earned. But I had a great time. I had to get through that slow, depressing stuff at the beginning, and then I was like, okay, I'm really into this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really liked the turn at the end. I felt like like you said, the action at the end was earned.
Mm-hmm.
And I liked that aspect of them having to go all the way to Italy, the way that the Volturi are introduced in the book, I thought was really, really fun.
Yeah.
I couldn't get the actors out of my head.
I don't even remember them. So
when they were describing Jane in the book, they say this kind of androgynous, young looking person, short brown hair. She's too cute. You know she's a female, but I'm just picturing Dakota Fanning with the bun.
Oh, that was like, her.
Yeah.
Not a fan
Which
of
is
her.
such a weird cast placement.
Wasn't she supposed to be black too in the book? She was black.
I don't know. The only time we ever hear anything about a vampire being even remotely close to black is when she says they had an olive tone and it looked weird with their like pale pallor, basically.
I thought she was black in the book, but I could be misremembering. Because then I did think, was there a black person in the Volturi in the movie? Because like I don't remember this movie a lot.
Laurent was black in the movie.
Yeah.
I don't think that wasn't the intention in the book, but he was played by a black actor. Yeah, I don't know. The way that she writes about vampirism makes it seem like it doesn't matter what you are, you're going to be white when you turn into a vampire.
Bone white.
It drains all the melanin from you, I think is what she says. Also, fun fact, when they filmed the scene in Italy, they did not film it in Volterra.
That's a real place?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was like a fake Vatican City.
No, Volterra is a real place, but they didn't film it in Volterra, and I couldn't remember. I don't think that there was a really good reason why they didn't, but I just kind of felt like that was a wasted opportunity.
Right? Maybe there wasn't like a location in the city that they thought fit for the
I don't
look
know, maybe the square wasn't big enough or something for everything they had going on. I don't know.
Wow.
But I just remember reading that somewhere and I was like,
That's so weird. Yeah.
I know.
Okay. That's so funny.
I know.
Okay.
It's weird that we jumped right to the end of the book, but it is kind of the climax. And it's so grand. What happens is crazy.
Oh my God. And like the fact, of course, she gets there like right as he's going to step into the light. I just kept thinking of Beauty and the Beast, like, step into the light, you know?
Oh, yeah.
We're like, no, don't step into the light.
Yeah, I totally forgot about the family that's watching, the little kids.
Yeah.
That are like, Mommy, look.
Yeah. I did too. And like, there's like, he's hiding in an alleyway and he's like gonna come out of there. And then when Bella stops him, the like vulture eye guards or whatever come out from the depths of the shadows, and the little girls are like looking, and
yeah,
stressful.
I know.
Like I was actually stressed, which is good, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
Every time I read that, I feel like, what if she doesn't get to him this time?
Yeah.
What if he steps out and then everything has changed? And
yeah, because she's like,
it
was windy. There was scarves blowing in the wind, and there was a fountain in the way, and there are all these people in the way. And she's like, I just gotta run there, but don't fall because I'm also klutzy. And I'm like, oh my God.
Right?
Yeah.
Ooh,
I was stressed. And also, like, she was in Italy and she couldn't even sightsee. Like, she did say that. Like, she was so stressed in the car. She's like, I'm not even looking at my surroundings.
Right? Could you imagine going all the way there and it's at the end you think, I was there for maybe 24 hours yeah. and all I saw was the underbelly of the city.
Yeah.
And this weird catacomb with these creepy ass
and
vampires.
Dakota Fanning. Yeah.
Yeah. And Michael Sheen.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
he had
Arrow.
A bad wig, too.
Yeah. Jamie Campbell Bower.
Who's that?
He was in the Sweeney Todd movie.
Oh, as Anthony?
Yeah. He was also in the Shadowhunters movie, City of Bone.
Never seen
with
that.
Oh my God. It was so bad. It was good. It was mostly just bad, but I liked it.
Okay. Noted.
It's like Percy Jackson.
Oh my God. Okay. One thing that I totally forgot about this book, because I was just thinking about the like slow depressing stuff at the very beginning. All of the side characters we were introduced to.
Yeah.
This was so good. Like, I really loved meeting them all.
I know. Meeting Emily.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like every time there was a scene with her, I was almost on the verge of tears a little bit, just thinking about her story.
Yeah.
And when Bella sees her for the first time, and Embry or Quill had said to her before, when you see Emily, don't stare, Sam doesn't like it.
Yeah.
And she sees her doing something at the counter and she goes, no wonder they told me not to stare because she's absolutely gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
And then she looks up and you see the side of her face. And then she notices later in the scene that the marks go all the way down to her hand.
Yeah.
And it's basically that whole kind of left side of her body has been torn up.
Yeah.
Oh, that really gets me.
I know. So badly, I want a book about Sam and Emily.
I know.
I
would
their
really
story.
love that.
Yeah, like I would love to hear about like when Sam was, let's say, awakened. Like, I don't even know what you would call it, because they said he was the first one to start changing into this werewolf kind of creature because the vampires came back on their land. So he was alone, but knowing the stories from his elders and his like ancestors about the cold ones, and I forget what they called the werewolves, but like so like he was alone going through this change, and then something happened where he hurt Emily by accident. But I would love to hear that story of like, what was it like for him to be all alone going through this? Their romance, the accident, everything that happened after, of like him being this mentor for the other men going through the change. Like,
yeah. Yeah. And I believe it's in the third book, we hear more about, I think it's the third book. We hear more about the beginning of his story with Leah and how they were together, but then he mated with Emily. And so that whole like torn apart relationship, basically, for something that he couldn't control. Yeah, I think that would be a really, really great story. I loved seeing Sam and Emily together. I know that in the book, a lot of it, Bella kind of said, oh, they were doing this and I tried to tune it out because I'm really sad, which is fair. But it was really nice to see a more mature love happen in the books, because it's not like Bella and Edward aren't romantic together, because they are. But he's also trying not to kill her the whole time. So there is this very Christian barrier happening.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of like becomes symbolic of purity culture in a way.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure I think Stephenie Meyer is Mormon. So
really?
I think that could very well be where that's going.
And she had a steamy sex dream about a man in a field.
Yeah.
Stephenie, I want to know about this dream that inspired it all.
Right? Wow. So it was nice to see a couple that they just go to each other and they actually touch one another and kiss, and there's real connection being seen.
Yeah. Oh my God. And I know that she's probably not going to write this book, because why would she? But I'm just saying, Stephenie, if you hear this, please write it and make it adult, because I don't want this, like, I don't even need steam. I'm just saying I want you to go there. I want to, I don't want to deal with the teen angst stuff. I want what actually happened with these adults, Yeah.
Yeah, because Sam is 20. Him and Emily are adults in the book.
Yeah.
I would love that. Yeah, and Stephenie Meyer's proven this in both books. You do not need to have sex scenes to create tension and have those feelings, because I had lots of feelings in Twilight, and I had lots of feelings in this book too, and there was no sex.
Yes, indeed.
I love.
Speaking of Edward, okay, first of all, I want to talk about the fact that she kept hearing him in her head.
Yeah.
And we didn't really get an answer. Her answer in the book was like, it's because I love him. I heard his voice.
Right.
And I don't remember. Do we ever get more info about that? Or is that the answer? Is like, I just love him, so I heard him.
I really have no idea. I kind of think we don't ever get an answer.
Ugh. So like because at the end of this book, he didn't know that she got a motorcycle. He didn't know that she was going cliff diving. He didn't know all these things that she went to that city, I forget again. And those creepy guys were there, and she was like, ooh, I'm going to get into danger, So he didn't know all these things. So clearly he wasn't literally like talking in her mind, and he can't even get in her mind anyway. So like, if it's just love, I'm going to be a little mad. So maybe that's why it's a 4.
I think it's more like trauma.
Yeah. Yeah. Yup.
Yeah. I'm with you though. I kind of do wish there was kind of
an explanation.
There was some kind of paranormal situation going on. But then I don't know, maybe we should be happy with what we got, and maybe that would ruin it. I don't know. Because I don't think they literally ever mention that again. I don't think it's ever brought up in the next 2 that they talk about that time.
Oh my God. Okay, well.
I know. I also, at the end, think Charlie was being very gracious.
Oh my God.
If my daughter left to go to, well, he thinks Italy. Los Angeles for 3 days, doesn't call, leaves a note on the phone pad, and just fucks off, and then comes back with her boyfriend that literally destroyed her life. And guess what? My daughter's boyfriend won't be a vampire. He's not fucking coming to my house. Like,
and she gives Charlie a what for? She's like, I'm 18, blah, blah, blah. Okay, but you're living under my roof, and how about some goddamn respect? Okay.
I was shocked. I did not remember when she goes, fine. And he goes, fine what? And she goes, fine, I'll move out. Yeah. And he was like,
well, like, duh. It's like, oh, I guess I'll go move in with my hot vampire boyfriend.
And his hot family. Yes.
Yeah. He doesn't even go to school anymore. It's like constant slumber party. You know?
She's the only one sleeping.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, ooh, no, I have to move out. I guess I'll live with my rich vampire boyfriend.
Right?
Like,
the hardship. Right. Also, if somebody said, I will pay for you to go to Dartmouth, I'd go.
Yeah.
I would probably go.
Yeah.
What's it to him?
Honestly.
He told Alice, she drove that little car, the 911 Turbo, and he goes, I'll buy you one for Christmas. Because she liked it so much. Because she stole one. They don't care.
No. Rules don't apply.
Right?
They're vampires.
Right? Also, I don't care how much of a vampire I am. I'm not moving to Alaska.
No.
Couldn't be me.
No. What if we, like, ran into Grace? From Grace.
Oh, yeah, because they're in Denali, too.
Yep. I would be like, okay, Grace, I know you have a lot of questions, but let me teach you how to tie a scarf. Okay? Rule number 1. Yeah. And then I'm going to teach you how to go to the bathroom
every once in a while. Just for your health.
And don't date Jackson, okay? Anyways. I can't. But I couldn't live in Alaska either. Like, with the weird sun stuff of, like...
I know.
There's, like, no darkness. Or there's only darkness. And there's bears everywhere. Like...
Yeah.
I always joke that because I'm vegetarian, they'll leave me alone. They'll be like, oh, she's not a threat. But I'm also like, I don't want to risk it. Right? With a freaking grizzly bear? Or a Kodiak bear?
Yeah.
No.
Nope. Not at all. Not at all. Yeah.
Okay. But also... So, I totally forgot about this, thinking about Alaska and everything. He didn't go to Alaska. He went to Brazil.
To Rio.
Mistakenly. Yeah. He went to Rio. What a hardship, you know? And he was trying to track Victoria, which, Edward, I'm sorry, how dumb are you? Why would Victoria be in Brazil? You know what I mean?
Right, Kate, when he goes, I'm not very good at it. Clearly, because she's been in Washington.
Yeah.
Almost this whole time?
This whole time.
What kind of scent does she have that he thought that she went to Brazil? Like, what?
I think that's just an excuse. I think he just wanted a vacation and he was like, oh, darn it, I lost the scent. Bella, I'm so sorry.
Well, also, they go to, which I think is kind of weird looking back on it now. Mm-hmm. So, in the 4th book, they get... Yeah, that's the 4th book. They get married and they go to an island that Carlisle bought for Esme as a gift. And they go there for their honeymoon and it's off of Rio. And now I'm just like, he was just fucking around on that island.
Yeah. Also, this is how bad I am with geography. Is there even an island near Rio de Janeiro? I thought Rio de Janeiro was like in the middle-ish or like landlocked in Brazil.
Yeah, I think it is. But they go there and then they go somewhere else and then they take a boat to this tiny island. It's a big island, but it's tiny for islands, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. I would have been like, can we go back to Italy? But can I actually see Italy? Because the last time you went without me. And then I had to go follow you and save you from your untimely death.
Yeah, because the last time you were being a little bit mopey, and let's be honest, nobody wants to sightsee with somebody who's being crabby.
Mm-hmm. Oh
also,
my God.
sightsee at night.
Yeah.
She's like, can we go? And you can just sit in the hotel all day, and I'll go and have fun alone.
Yeah. Or just cake on the sunscreen all over him. It was fully covered.
Yeah. He could wear like a burqa or something.
He could dress as one of those living statues and make some money while she's sightseeing. He doesn't need any money, but I'm just saying, if he needs something to do.
Yeah. I mean, at least if when he was shimmering like that, it could be a good decoy from the real situation.
Yeah. Like, hello.
Because, I mean, really, if I saw someone who was glittering like that in public, my first thought wouldn't be vampire. My first thought would be, this person covered themselves in glitter.
Yeah, or like, okay, drag queen. Like, glitter everywhere. Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Don't put it on me, but, you know.
Good for you.
Don't touch me with your glitter, okay? But.
Yeah. Ugh.
Oh, my God.
Man. What did you think of Bella and Jacob and Mike going to the movies? I don't know why that scene really stands out to me in this book.
Because it's hilarious and it's so cringe, but it's also hilarious.
Yeah.
I loved it. I was laughing out loud at parts because just like Bella being like, okay, I'm going to get a whole group of people together so it's not weird. And we're going to go and do this thing. And then everybody cancels. And it's just the three of them. And Mike sitting in the back seat pouting like a child. And like her feeling literally in between them, but also like figuratively in between them.
Yeah.
And Jacob just like didn't give a shit, which I fucking loved. He was just like, you're nothing. I'm just here to watch this movie. You're like inconsequential. And then Mike goes and throws up in the bathroom. Like, I had a blast. I really loved it. And I haven't been on a similar date, but like I've definitely been in a group where you were sitting between two people that you didn't want to sit between, and you're like, oh God, you know?
Yep. Ooh.
The image of Mike and Jacob sitting there, both with their palms like available for her to take their hand.
I know.
And she just sat there like, uh-oh.
I know. So cringy. And like Mike gives up first.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think Jacob leaves us there, doesn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know. And there is a part of me that feels bad for Jake.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that if we wouldn't have gotten Bella's perspective on things, I wouldn't have felt bad for Jake. I would have just felt really annoyed because he's like, well, persistence and whatever, that kind of thing. Which, ew.
Yeah.
But then you're also hearing her say to herself, which, I mean, I'm sure this is a thought a lot of people have, like if they have a spouse that's passed away or anything like that, like this isn't going to be the same kind of love, but maybe I can have a different kind of love with this person. And Jake is there for her, and he, even as a werewolf, can be with her in a lot of ways that Edward can't really be.
Yeah.
Even just this is something that really stuck with me this time. When they cuddle, she's just cold all the time.
Yep.
I don't like that. Like with Jake, she can be warm and have like comfort from the, I'm sure she feels comforted by Edward because she loves him, but you can have that physical comfort as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I am still Team Edward, but I really grew to understand why some people are Team Jacob. Read through.
Yeah, I completely agree. I had so many thoughts about Jacob, and okay, so I'm still Team Edward. However, I don't think this is a hot take because, again, there were a lot of Team Jacob people, and I was like, I don't get it. Like, ew. I'm still on board with you with the fact that, like, she's not interested. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This persistence is not good. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not attracted to that of, like, I'll just keep trying. No.
Yeah, no.
It's a no. And I said no, and I don't want it. I understand Bella's perspective of, like, it's not going to be the same. I really do care about him. I do have a love for him, but it's more brotherly, which now that I know that that's Stephenie's brother's name, I'm like, okay, interesting. But she does find him attractive. She does feel like the tension when there's a moment of like, will he kiss me? I don't know. And she even says like, maybe I'll just let him and I'll see how I feel, which, okay, whatever. But I didn't like how she kept saying to him, like, just wait it out. Like, maybe something will happen. I can't promise anything. But she's like, she knew she was using him because she was going through a hard time, but she couldn't let him go.
Right.
Which I get it, but I'm also like, Bella, that's so shitty, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
and it kind of makes him saying, well, I can be persistent and I can wait, feel more right that he feels that way, because of course, if you really love somebody and they're saying to you, just wait it out, like someday I could be better and I could feel differently, of course you're gonna feel like you're gonna be persistent and you're gonna wait. Of course.
Yeah, like I don't want to go as far to say like she's leading him on, because she does say to him like, I don't see you like that, but we're still gonna cuddle and like do all these things, whatever. But I just think it's not healthy. It's not right. It's not fair to both of them. It's just like, oh God, you know?
I know.
But I did have the thought like you about like, Jacob is warm, okay?
Yeah.
When you're cuddling, you want a warm teddy bear. You don't want a rock.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I think is in Jacob's favor for me over Edward is the fact that Jacob is he's not human anymore, but he's of human age, okay?
Yeah.
He is a year younger. When there's something going on with Bella, he seems way more like comforting and caring to me, versus Edward is like almost like parental figure, like controlling, like, I'm going to fix this for you. And not that Jacob isn't a fixer, but there's a different feeling of like, I'm with you versus I'm going to fix this for you. Stop, you know? Like,
yeah. Jacob is more like, I'm going to fix this with you. And Edward is, I'm going to fix this for you. Yeah. And I'm going to fix it the way I think is right. And I don't care if you feel like it's the right way. Because I have so much life experience or whatever.
Yes. I'm going to leave you for months and then come back and come back once you save me from killing myself and tell you how sorry I am and how I never left you, even though you totally did. And Jacob, he had an argument with her and then he came back and it was like, I'm so sorry. I can't tell you what's going on, but I'm really sorry and I don't want to lose your friendship. Like all this stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And when Edward said thank you to Jacob at the end of the book, I really feel like that should have been so much more than just thank you.
Oh my God, yeah.
Because that shit was not cool. I don't know. By the end of this series, am I going to be Team Jacob?
No. Do you know why?
I don't think so.
One word, Renesmee.
That's true.
I can't even think about that part yet because that's what will unravel my appreciation for Jacob right now, because I'm just disgusted by that whole situation and I can't think about it.
Yeah.
I can't think about it right now. I have to let myself get there naturally.
So not Team Jacob, just a little Team Jacob in this particular instance.
Yes.
I really loved them doing the bikes together.
Oh my God, yeah.
I really, really liked all of that. And when he said, you know, if I told you I couldn't fix these bikes, what would you have done? And she says, well, I would have said that's too bad, but we're going to have to find something else to do. And then that part just makes me feel like they need a romance, because that is such a good setup line.
Yeah.
Wasted. Not wasted. It was good. It was a good section.
You know, I honestly, even though I'm still Team Edward, always have been, I do think there needed to be some kind of romance, because it would have added more tension too. Because right now, it's just like, you're the friend, she doesn't want to be with you, go away. If there, it's feeling a bit Okay. This setup reminds me of King Arthur, Guinevere, Lancelot, because she has a love for Jacob like she would have had a love for King Arthur.
Yeah.
Like a respect, a deep care for. And Lancelot is like the sexual, romantic, whatever. And that's Edward.
Yeah.
But we don't have any of that with Jacob in this book, or any of the books, really. So it just feels like, why are you still here? Go away. You're not an option.
Think about how much more tension it would have brought if her and Jacob had sex.
Oh my God, because he can actually touch her. Well, actually, but can he? That's a question I had. Because is it only when he gets mad that he starts to like shake?
Or like any kind of excitement?
Yeah, like extreme
I don't
emotion.
know.
Yeah, because I would be worried about like, let's have sex, but also please don't kill me.
He does seem to have a way better handle on it than a lot of the other... Even Sam, they say that he can change instantly, whereas Sam still needs like a sec.
Yeah.
So he does have a really good grip on what he is like experiencing. So, I mean, I don't think he's gonna like Hulk out. Maybe it would take them a while to like warm up into it.
We don't mind. Yeah.
No, take your time, Jake. Take your time.
But like, also, I thought of this and I was like tabbing that. I forget who said it in the book, but someone mentions the fact that Jacob had to take care of his dad a lot growing up. And
Charlie, I think.
Oh, probably, yeah. That would make sense.
Yeah, Charlie's talking to Alice about... Isn't that what it is? Charlie at the end is talking to Alice about how far Bella has come since the beginning. And he says he had to physically take care of his father, like Bella had to emotionally take care of her mother.
Yes. And
so they relate, or they're like on the same page about a lot of things.
Yes.
And like, because I think he was saying like how mature Jake is, because he is a year or 2 years younger than her. Like,
I think he's just 1 year.
Just 1 year.
I think, but I could be wrong. But yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, I agree.
I'm just saying, like, if Bella had met both of them at the same time, even though technically she knew Jacob first, but she didn't remember him, so it doesn't count. You know what I mean? If she had met them at the same time and didn't have these, like, crazy feelings for Edward, I'd probably be more team Jacob, because he feels like the better long-term choice on paper.
I think if the first book was set up differently to have the love triangle, and that hadn't been introduced in New Moon, I don't know if I would have been team Jacob when I was younger, but I think now I definitely would have been team Jacob.
Oh my God, yeah. Like, I feel alien. I'm like, what is happening? But when I read this
everything we thought was a lie.
I know, because I was so angry. Well, I was angry at a lot of people, but I was so angry at Edward at the end when he was like, I never left. Forgive me. Bitch, you did leave. You left.
When he says, it was hours. Like, when I wasn't tracking, I was totally useless, and it was literally killing me. I was living hour by hour because I felt like I was going to come back to you. Well, just come back.
Yeah, bullshit.
Why?
Honestly, I'm mad.
I think, Jacob is more mature than Edward is.
Yes. Yes, he is. Okay? I never thought I'd be so Jacob.
Right? At least when it comes to women's feelings and like how they would like to be treated. At least in this book, I know there are like things that happen in Eclipse that we will obviously get into when we talk about Eclipse in a few weeks.
I can't wait. I don't remember anything. Basically.
Girl.
I know.
Girl.
I'm so excited.
But in this book, I am really team Jacob.
Yeah.
And I'm really interested to see if Eclipse changes that for me. But right now, I'm still very invested in the New Moon book. And so we'll see.
like, okay, obviously, like, this is not a revelation, but like, Edward is cold. He's physically cold, but he's also kind of emotionally cold. He's very aloof. Jacob is the complete opposite. He's warm, he's compassionate, he's caring. He's like tall and muscular, which I'm like, hello, which I would rather a muscular, like, rugged guy versus like a cool, pretty guy, like, personally. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, like, also too, yeah, their physical appearance does mirror their emotional.
Yeah.
And Jacob doesn't lie to Bella.
Yeah.
He says, I can't tell you this, but I'm going to give you all the hints I can to make sure that you guess. Because if you guess, I can't get in trouble because I didn't tell you anything.
Yeah.
He never lies to her. And that, like, warmth that he has physically is so in his personality. Whereas in the first book, she's like, you're a vampire, and Edward's like, you're fucking stupid. I'm gonna gaslight the shit out of you.
Yes. And you know what? If I dated Edward and dated Jacob at separate times, or even if I went on one date with one date with the other, here's my little theory, okay? If I went somewhere with Edward and I said, oh, I really, really want this fast food, he'd be like, that's not good for you. If I went with Jacob, he'd be like, let's go get it. Do you want a milkshake with it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. That's marriage material.
That's the difference between my ex-husband and my current partner.
Exactly. And like, my husband,
did I date a vampire and now I'm dating a werewolf? Am I gonna relate everything back to this from this conversation?
You were with an energy vampire, of that I am certain. Okay.
Oh yes.
Yes. And now you have a warm, compassionate person. And I also had that same trajectory, different but the same. And
I think that most women go through that. You have to go through the bad shit to get to the good shit.
Yes, because not everyone's so lucky to just get the good. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. So my husband, is he perfect? No. But if I was like, all the time, he's like, what do you want for dinner? And I'm like, I kind of want to like go out somewhere. And he goes, where do you want to go? And then I say like our favorite burrito spot or whatever. And he's like, oh, okay, yeah, let's go. Like, he's like, I'm in it to win it. And I'm like, oh, you shouldn't get that. Bitch, I don't need your permission. I'm going to eat what I want. I want to include you, Edward.
You need to be with somebody who enables you in the most important place that you are. With us, it happens to be food.
Yes.
Some people, it could be shopping. Who knows? Also, he enables me with books, which is like...
Yes.
Maybe we do need to tone it down a little because we don't want to be Poe. But also, it's great.
Yeah, you know what I mean? He lifts you up. He raises you up. Edward's like, no, I will hold you. I don't want you to hold me.
Right? I know. And the thing that I love about the end of this book too is we know from Twilight, she has this ability that Edward can't hear her thoughts. Jasper's power works on her though, the calming.
Yes.
But when she gets to the Volturi and Arrow says, can I touch you? I really want to see if this works. And it doesn't work. And then Jane's power doesn't work. It is really, and I think that this probably is explored more, especially in Breaking Dawn, but her power is more of a defensive power, which she doesn't have to do with Jasper, because Jasper's power is all about calming and like being relaxed. I don't think it is always.
Okay.
I think he can make you feel whatever he wants you to feel.
Okay.
But he does use it in a way that is calming, at least thus far.
Okay.
But at the end of the book, it turns out she's like the most powerful person there. And it's like, fuck you, Edward. And now it's like, what, you don't want her to be a vampire because she's going to be cooler than you?
Oh my God.
She's going to take all your coolness?
I hate the fact that she goes and takes a vote for it, even though people are like, yeah, I'll do it for you, because now it's really a necessity. Yeah. And I understand, and I like the bit about the treaty of like how that will like really fuck shit up for them. Yeah. If they bite her on that land. And I forgot about that, and I was like, oh no, you know, like that's why they have to figure it out, whatever. But like, girl, you don't need to take a vote. It's your body. You know what I mean? My God, it's your life.
Alice said she would do it. Carlisle says you don't have to worry about it at all with me. Yeah, I'm a pro. Look at all these people. I've already done it.
Yeah, look at them. Yeah,
no I'm mistakes. Good. You don't have to worry about me losing control. Yeah. So,
I'm a doctor. You know what I mean?
I do think, obviously, the way that it ends up happening makes sense for the story and how it plays out, obviously. Yeah. And it makes it so everybody gets to live kind of happily ever after, which I do like. I do like a happy ending. But I do think it would have been really, really cool if she just fucked off and left him for like a week. Mm-hmm. And she came back and she was like, surprise! I'm a vampire. And he was like, oh, what?
I went to Rio.
Got that Brazilian butt lift
before I was
also
changed.
Some fangs.
Yes. Get it done before you're changed, because then it will always be great. You know what I mean? Right? That's what I would say. I'd be like, okay, never mind school. I'm going to like do the things I need to do to look a certain way. Yeah. And then stay that way forever. Thank you. Yeah. You know?
Do a moderate amount of lip filler, get the Botox done, whatever you got to do.
Get a tattoo.
Bam. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can't get a tattoo after. I don't think it would work. I don't know. Another thing I thought of was, goddamn, you know, I read too much. I read too much romance. But if this was an adult book, if this was written now as an adult book, this would have been a why choose. And I would have been like, oh, yeah. Yes, why choose? Why choose indeed? Right? You know what I mean? Have your cake and eat it too. That's what I would say. Bella, you deserve it. You've dealt with a lot of crap.
I know. Ugh.
I'm just saying. And I mean, it would be... I don't want to like spoil other books, but it would be like another book I read where someone goes away for a long time and then they get closer and things kind of percolate, and then he comes back, and then they're all together. I'm just saying.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know. I do think that...
But not as teenagers, as adults, I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yes.
This book could have been really elevated had it been... had it been more an mature adult or new adult book.
Yeah.
Like maybe it starts off with them in high school in Twilight, but the second book they're maybe she's like taking a gap year or whatever. Yeah. She's working so she can afford stuff. She's still living at Charlie's, so it's all kind of copacetic. But there's some extra
mind
extra
the
things.
Gap. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't know what that means there, but
mind her and Jacob's age gap. But he's like, what did they settle on? He's like 43 and she's like 22 or something.
Which again,
I thought that was funny. I thought that was a funny bit.
It was funny. And like, again, I'm very surprised by how mature Bella is. Like,
yeah,
the movies do not do any service for her. They really don't. They took away any agency she had. She's still a little bit helpless at times, but like, she gives Edward what's what at one point. Yeah. She gives Charlie what's what. She gives Jacob what's what. I think... Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, I think in the books, it's a more like realistic helpless. Like you get so overwhelmed with making decisions that you just can't make any more decisions.
Yeah.
That's a very normal part of life. It happens to me all the time.
Yeah.
One thing happens and then suddenly I can't decide what we're going to have for dinner because that's a very hard thing to think about, you know?
Yep.
I think that in the books, it is very realistic to what a teenager or young adult would be facing. Yeah. Obviously, we don't have vampires and werewolves, but...
Or do we?
I think we do. I'm just waiting for it. Still.
Yeah. Never got my Hogwarts letter, but I don't want to go back to school right now. I'm taking a break.
Oh my God, yeah. I would be like, get that shit away from me.
Oh my God, I'd be like, can I please go to like Hogsmeade? But like, I don't want to go to school right now.
Like, can I just work in the bar and drink butterbeer? That's all I want.
I want to work at, well, actually, no. I would not work at Fred and George Weasley's place.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's just like a toy store basically with a bunch of kids running around shooting off magical pens and shit. And I'd be like, oh my God, this is a mess. It's loud. It's sticky. I don't like it.
Yeah, that would be awful.
Maybe Ollivanders. I'd be like,
oh,
peacock core, unicorn hair. Like, okay. So nice.
I love it.
All the drawers with the wands.
Needless to say, we're over school. When we'd rather work a real job.
Yeah, and you're excited about drawers.
Yeah. Drawers are fun. Organization is fun, man.
It is.
Can you tell how old we are?
Am I organized? Not right now, but boy, do I have plans. Okay.
Yep. I'm looking at a lot of stuff on this desk that needs to go away.
Same. I'm in the middle of reorganizing my books right now because I just got rid of a lot of them. But yeah, that's another day. Another problem for another day.
Oh, yeah.
But
for sure.
I will just say back to Bella. The one person I don't think she told off was Billy. I don't remember really. And I hate
wanted her to,
Billy.
though.
Yes. I hate him so much.
Like, I understand Billy, that he is protecting his tribe. He's protecting his people. He's protecting his child.
Yeah.
I get it. But why can't anybody just talk to Bella about the vampire werewolf thing? Everybody's just mad about it, and they're going around huffing and puffing everywhere.
Yeah. Especially since they already know that she's been with them, so she must know something.
Right?
Like, Billy seems to know all, but yet also nothing at the same time. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
He does not share information.
No.
And he just, like, ignores her and is, like, the annoying dad.
And he's not even her dad.
I know!
And then Charlie's there like, I'm gonna go watch the game.
Yeah. I'm so mad. So I did wish that she would just be like, Billy, shut up. I'm seeing Jacob, you know? But, which she, like, kind of did, but not really.
Yeah, when she, like, went and parked outside of the house for forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm mad.
I guess it makes sense how they did it in the movie, but I really wished that they would have done the whole reveal like they did in the book. Because in the movie, she goes over after she hasn't seen him and she's demanding to talk to him and he's mad, and then Sam and them come out of the trees immediately. And Jacob and Paul get in the fight, and then she goes to Emily's house. But in the book, she goes there first, and he talks, and then he sees her in her room, and he says, you have to guess, which I thought was fun.
Yeah, and I love
like, Bella, you gotta guess.
Yeah, we gotta be quiet, because Charlie's right there. You know, like, we're having this secret. But also, she was like, leave through the front door. I'm like, but then he's gonna have to unlock the door, and then you're not gonna lock the door after?
Right?
That was unbelievable.
When people are after you.
Yes.
I guess at that point, maybe she didn't know that people were after her, but
she did think it was Victoria.
Oh, yeah, because she had already seen Laurent.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also loved that image of her red hair in the water.
Yeah.
Scary.
Right? Scary. Or when she's with Laurent in the meadow, and then the wolves come out, and the last wolf comes out and looks at her, and she says, doesn't she say something along the lines of, I felt like I thought of Jacob.
Yeah. Like his eyes.
Or I was thinking of Jacob. And then he's like, you have to guess. Her first guess wasn't, you're that big ass wolf?
Hello?
That would have been my first guess.
That's the thing. I totally forgot that she saw those wolves before he even talked to her. Because, like, you already know vampires exist.
Right? It's
Bella.
not that far off. And he's like, those filthy bloodsuckers you love. Ugh.
Yeah.
Werewolf.
Hello.
Duh.
Ugh.
Anyway,
Whatever.
hindsight's 2020.
If we had been there, if we had been her Angela's, basically, game changer. We'd been like, Bella.
Yeah.
I think Edward's a vampire. I also think Jacob is a werewolf, and I think Mike is a tool. You know, like
The third one is the most true.
it's the most terrifying. I think Mike is an
Honestly.
incel. Like, actually,
Mike is
though.
an incel.
Yeah.
What?
He legitimately is. Yeah.
Get a grip.
And like
Gotta
get some
grip.
therapy.
For
Get some
real.
therapy, and I mean that with all the love in my heart. Like, literally, get some therapy. That is not
Yeah.
not a good way to be.
I know.
Oh my god,
Ugh,
I'm
he
so
makes me
excited
feel
for this
icky.
next book. I know. I don't remember.
I'm excited
like
for you to read
anything.
it because you don't remember anything, so it'll be extra good.
Like, the only thing I remember is that there's a lot of arguments with the werewolves and the vampires, and she graduates, and I think it's when the whole thing with Victoria gets wrapped up, but I don't remember because it's been so long. So yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited too. I started it last night.
Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us for our New Moon discussion. Stephenie Meyer, thank you again for writing these books so that we could enjoy them not once, but twice for me and several times for Nikki. So never thought that we would be potentially, veering towards a Team Jacob decision. But for now, I think we're both safely on the Team Edward side. So thank you so much for listening. Please tune in to our next episode where we'll be talking about Stephenie Meyer's third book in this series, Eclipse. Until then, if you want to keep up to date on all things bookish with Nikki and I, you can follow us on Instagram at BYOB Book Podcast or TikTok at Bring Your Own Book Podcast. Until next time, keep on drinking in great stories. Cheers!
Next time on the Bring Your Own Book podcast, all our attempts at subterfuge had been in vain.